Welcome back to TKO Fight Sports. Very lucky now to be joined by UFC heavyweight Ben Sosoli. Ben, welcome to TKO Fight Sports.
Thanks for having me.
Very, very good to have you here. We're going to UFC Auckland. Obviously not the result you were looking for. Talk me through the fight, how things were going, and I guess what happened at the end there.
Yeah, so I had a good camp. I had a full camp.
Yep.
My nutrition was on point. Michelle Reeves got me down. I had no weight cut.
No weight cut?
No, wow. No weight cut for this fight. I felt awesome. Had the game plan, got ready to go. But the main thing was when we have the walkout jerseys, we don't get to put it on before, and I didn't realize how heavy it was. And honestly, man, my legs were gone before I got into the cage. But yeah, no, in all honesty though, yeah, the game plan was to get in. We worked so much stuff, but Dan was saying that a lot of things I do naturally and just on instinct. Yep. And yeah, I didn't do any of that stuff. So what he's usually not worried about, that was what lost me the fight. Okay. And yeah, I haven't been dropped before, and it happens to everyone in the fight game.
Absolutely.
And I knew it was going to happen, whether it would be sooner or later, and it ended up being sooner in front of my hometown. But yeah, just time to move on. Need to put everything together a bit more, and I need to just showcase a bit more weapons. You
look super light on your feet for a large guy. What changes do you make now? Again, don't obviously give game plans away, but that result, we spoke to Dan earlier, and he spoke about some things that will need to change into the future. So in your own mind, what are the 2 or 3 things that you'll look to modify to make sure that next time you fight the fight that you want to fight?
I feel like I need because it goes individual to individual now in the UFC, there's not just one way I'm going to train, one way I'm going to fight. I need to cater it to whoever I'm matched up against. But I think I need to make sure in the future, when I have my game plans, I need to not stray too far away from what got me here. Yep. I usually take my time a bit more to get in. I don't really explode off the get-go like that. And I think I kind of need to meet the coaches halfway with keeping my natural style as well as doing what I need to do as well. And yeah, I just need to start adding things to the toolbox. So it'll be good to start getting into that now.
Vic, you've obviously fought in front of your home crowd domestically. Is it harder than, I know you fought in obviously UFC overseas and things like that, and Ben's a lot of experience domestically as well, but is it harder to fight in front of your home crowd given that you've probably got mates there and you've Australia pride and all the rest of it? Is it something that adds weight?
This was actually the question I was going to shoot over to Ben just now myself. Sorry, because I fought in Auckland 2014. I had a good win over there, and for Ben to be living and training over here and then to get a chance to go back over there, and as he was saying, with having a game plan and everything, you had a structure for the fight going into it. Was there a lot of emotion going into that fight, thinking, oh shit, here I am out in home crowd here, and there's 14,000 people in the arena there screaming your name out? So did you feel you wanted to really step up and kind of just put on a show?
Yeah, I really wanted to step up. So I'm pretty excitable just as a person, and like I knew all my friends and family were there. The stadium was going off when I walked in.
To buzz, isn't it?
Yeah, so I had to make sure, Dan was making sure I let the crowd lift me, not distract me. But then it kind of, a double-edged sword, because then I kind of got that invincibility about myself, and I thought that, you could throw anything at me, and I'm bulletproof right now in front of everyone at home. And yeah, that was kind of the downfall for me.
This might actually be a really good learning tool for yourself now, to have had this come so early on in your career, that now you've got to realise that you can't let those emotions take over you. Hit the nail on the head with that now, and then move on from there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucky I wasn't hurt any worse as well. I walked away not even really concussed after I got checked out.
Good.
No injuries. I can get straight back into training.
Excellent. So that's fantastic.
It's a bit of a blessing.
And that's pretty much going back to yourself. There's a lot of emotion involved when you're walking out, for somebody like Ben in front of a home crowd. I've only fought domestically in front of the home crowd down here in Melbourne, but to go over international and fighting in the UFC for someone like Ben, definitely a big motivator for him to just fire up and let loose.
Yeah.
So a little bit closer to home, obviously a key element of the Resilience Training Centre training team. So what role do you play here at Resilience, and how has that, I guess, helped you adapt or mould your own game over the time as well?
So here at Resilience, we start up this boxing program this year. So I've been running boxing up here, which has been awesome. Kind of going back to the basics and showing other people stuff that I haven't really practiced for years. It's good just going over it when you realize that, oh, hey, I forgot that I know how to do this, and just help sharpen everything that I have. And also, I just love watching people come up and seeing people evolve, not just as fighters, but as people as well. And yeah, going into speaking on that, the Wimp program we've been running. I've been doing the striking for our Wimp program here at Resilience, and yeah, it's awesome. Same thing, this is the 3rd season we're doing, and it's just so crazy seeing everyone come in, and then when they leave, they're just a completely different person. And I'm just real happy that I get to be a part of that.
So speaking of Wimp, I'm hearing that there's a really good boxer you got going. He's probably about this tall. He's got really good hands, and comes from Whittlesea, I believe. What's his name? Steve?
I think I can't remember his real name because we all call him a young Tyson Fury.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, he is the most. You've got talent, and then you've got Steven talent. So yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be in his presence.
That aside, because I mean that's all.
We're just having a dig.
We know. So, how far do they come along? Like, because as Dan said earlier, you get someone that's never thrown a punch in anger in their life. So, how far do people actually come? Because the end point is them going into a cage and banging it out for a couple of rounds. So, with your experience in the last 2.5 shows, how far do people actually come through this journey?
Off the bat, if you do the bare minimum, with the coaching that we have here and the guest coaches, by the end of the program when they fight, no one looks like they shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
But then again, there's options for people to do extra sessions. People meet up after work and stuff, and put in more time, more hours, and you always tell who those people are by the end of it because they look like they've been fighting for years.
Great. That's
and
unreal.
yeah, it's just good. Well, the better the group is, the more they push each other, and the more they push each other, the more extra stuff they do. And it's the stuff that you put in when no one else is paying attention that's when you can see when they fight on the night that, oh, you've got guys that can keep fighting, end up fighting professionally.
Yeah. So that does happen, that Wimp Warrior contestants go on and have an amateur or a pro career?
Yep. We've had a few guys that have had a few fights after the Wimp Warrior series, and I know people that have done Wimp Warrior and other programs that have gone on to fight professionally as well.
Oh,
so yeah, the sky's the limit.
My final question for you, a bit closer to home, the domestic heavyweight scene is in a really good space right now. We've got some huge boys that are brawling on a number of different domestic promotions. We're going to talk to Ricky shortly about the Eternal Grand Prix victory, which is super impressive. Just your thoughts around heavyweight mixed martial arts in Australia at the moment? I'm
real happy with how it is right now. So when I first started fighting, I think back in 2012, 2013, when I first turned pro as a heavyweight, everyone was one-dimensional. You had either a good boxer, you had a good wrestler, you had a guy that's only good at doing submissions, but they're not good everywhere else. And nowadays, you can throw a coin into a crowd, and you've got well-rounded heavyweights all over the place. And I'm lucky that I've always trained with Ricky here. And even before I fought in the UFC, the best thing about training with Ricky is that I would never have to fight him, because that is the one person I wouldn't want to stand across the cage from.
That's a massive endorsement.
Yeah. Oh, it's well deserved. He bashes me on a weekly basis. So yeah, I can't act like, oh, he's good, but I'm better, because he would just beat me up on Friday. So
glowing endorsement. Ben Sosoli, thank you so much for joining us at TKO Fight Sports. Make sure you stay tuned to Ben's journey from here. We know there are much greener pastures just around the corner. Again, if you want to do some boxing with Ben, Resilience Training Centre or Wimp to Warrior later on this year. Ben, thanks so much for joining us.
All right.
And remember, sign up and subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel and watch all this great footage.